Hello everyone, welcome to my Incredible Chess channel. In the 10th round of Tata Steel Chess Masters tournament, our Young Indian Grandmasters Gukesh and Praggnanandhaa were paired against each other and they played an epic game. Yes guys, it is a very aggressive game played by both the players, you can say. Gukesh kept his king in the center of the board, Praggnanandhaa was attacking on it, and in the opening they played very sharp. I'll not tell every detail about this game because it is really interesting game. So guys, stick with me till the end and enjoy this game. We'll go straight to the game, and before we go further, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and share this video so that everybody will enjoy. So in this game, Gukesh was white. He started with c4, Praggnanandhaa played c5. Now here they played knight f3, knight to f6, knight c3, knight c6. This is a symmetrical c4 opening, you can say. And now Gukesh decided to play d4. Gukesh has climbed already in 2700 club. Praggnanandhaa is also coming slowly and gradually towards him, and it is really interesting to see these youngsters playing such an amazing chess in all the top level tournaments. C captures d4, knight captures d4, e6, and now this bishop on f8 is trying to come on b4 square. That's why he played a3 in order to stop that bishop. Then he played bishop to e7 and now e4. We all know this thing that we need to control the center as quickly as possible, develop our pieces and so on. And one more important thing in the opening phase is the king safety. That's why Praggnanandhaa decided to play castle here, safeguarding the king, keeping it away from the main battle. And here Gukesh could have played something like bishop e3 or even you can say bishop to e2, but here the theory goes knight to f3 and he is well aware of the theory. Of course, these youngsters know all about their openings. Okay, here Pragg played queen to a5, pinning this knight, you can say, and also threatening knight captures e4, because if you play bishop to e4, bishop to e2, then knight captures e4 and knight will be under attack. That is also one thing. You can say like, okay, he can play b4, this kind of a move, but okay, after that knight captures c3 is a very interesting idea. If you capture the queen, then black can actually capture the queen on d1, and after all these exchanges, I will say like black is quite better in this position. Okay, so of course he did not allow all those things. He played bishop to d2, unpinning the knight over here, and he swings his queen to the other side of the board. And now here in this position, can you guess what did he play? Any normal player, or I will even say that previously in this position many games have been played, and in all those games bishop e2 was played, which is a very natural move. After bishop to e2, d5 will be played, c captures d5, e captures d5, e captures d5, knight captures d5, and so on. Knight to d4 attacking the queen, queen moves to e5, knight captures c6, b captures c6, and then castle. And there are several games which have been played by strong players. But as we know this thing, that our players are very well prepared in the opening, right? And in this position, earlier Anish Giri played a very interesting idea against Ian Nepo in 2020. Okay, and here Anish Giri played rook to g1, which was very new at that time. It was a novelty, but that is the only game which was played at that time. And one more thing I would like to say, that after rook g1, Nepo managed to win the game. Okay, that was not just because of the opening, but also because of the middle game and end game, because that game was very crazy. I'll just show you some moves, what happened in the game, so that you will get the idea. So a6 was played, then h3 with the idea of playing g4 in future. Knight to e5, g4, knight f3, queen f3, queen c5, and g5 knight is under attack. And you can see that white is already rolling his pawn up the board and he is having some great initiative. Of course, Nepo was not without the bullets, you can say. He started playing on the queen side. He played b5, cb5, ab5, bishop b5, sacrificed one pawn, but he got his pieces in the game quite quickly. And then in the heat of the battle, you can say, players made some mistakes and Nepo managed to win the game. Okay, that is the background of this rook to g1 move. And in this game, of course, Gukesh must have seen that game and he must have prepared something. So here, instead of playing a6 like Nepo, here Praggnanandhaa decided to play d5, which was also played in the game but in a different way. And now you can say that okay, you can capture on d5 and the game will be proceeded normally, but you need to see one thing, that white's king is in the center of the board and he needs to do something. As he has already played rook to g1, there is no chance of going him on the king side. He has to castle on the queen side, right? And he cannot open the game, means center of the board cannot be opened. Like if you go for like c captures d5, e captures d5, and further if you try to open up the game, then black will be very happy because the rook will be coming on e8 and the king will be under a lot of pressure in this case. So in this position, Gukesh played yet another interesting move. He said, I'm going to play g4 anyhow. If you want to capture my pawn, capture it, no issues. And here he captured, knight captures g4, c captures d5 was played, e captures d5 and knight captures d5. Now here in this position the bishop is under attack, bishop c5 was played, attacking the pawn on f2 square. Now what to do? The pawn on f2 cannot be supported so easily. Well, you can play bishop to e3, you can say, but after bishop e3 we can even capture everything on e3, like bishop into e3 is there, and if you capture it back, then I think this should be good for black anyhow, because rook will be coming on d8 square, white's king will be stuck in the center of the board, and it is not so easy position to play, right? So instead of this bishop e3 move, Gukesh again played one amazing move. This game is full of tactics, okay guys, you need to think in a different way. You cannot think in normal way in order to play in this opening phase. You have to be very, very creative. And in this position, he decided to play queen e2. This is a very surprising move, right? He's allowing his opponent to capture on f2. But why? Can you think about it? Well, I hope that you have got it. Here, the best move is to sacrifice the queen for the time being. After knight captures f2, there is a check. This is the idea here. The rook on g1 is not misplaced. It was played for a reason. The g4 pawn was given for a reason, and you can see what is the reason here. Knight f6 check. The g7 pawn cannot capture the knight. King h8 and knight captures h5. Well, you can capture the pawn, but of course piece is piece, and white should be able to win this game because he is piece up in this position, right? Amazing idea, right? Bishop into f2 and queen into f2. What if knight into f2 is played? Well, that is a straightforward blunder, because after knight f6 check, the queen on h5 will be hanging. So that's out of question. So here Pragg understood, of course, all these things. He played f5, trying to control the f6 square, you can say. He played knight to f4, attacking the queen on h5 square, queen went to f7 square, and now here maybe miss I'm just saying this thing because I feel like long castle is a worth try in this position, trying to get your king away from the main battle which is happening in the center of the board. Maybe knight d4 will be played, knight captures d4, bishop captures d4, and then you can just move the king away from the main action, king to b1, and the game will proceed. Of course, there are many things which will happen in the game. Still, white's king is not completely safe, but white is also threatening to attack on black's king with the moves like h3 or f3 in future. The knight will be dislodged, and you know, whenever the rook's file is opened up, the king is under attack, right? Okay, in this position, instead of long castling, Gukesh decided to play rook to g2, and here f into e4 was a very interesting option, because after f into e4, the knight is not having that many squares. Knight g5 is one of the moves, you can say, queen to f5, and believe it or not, now this knight is not having any good squares to move. Knight h3, maybe you can go for this move, like, but playing knight to h3 is a disaster, because we can just play knight to d4, the queen is under attack, maybe queen c4 check, king to h8, and well, knight f3 check is coming, the king is under huge pressure, you can say. And if you go for long castle in this position, trying to safeguard your king, then I will say like it's not that cool idea, because bishop will be played, rook c8 will be coming, and b5 move is also coming. White will be in big trouble. So after this, white's best chance is to give up the rook here, and after giving up the exchange, you can say, white can think about surviving in the game. Okay, I'll not go completely into the crazy lines which are there here in this position, but f into e4 definitely was a very strong idea in this position from black side to continue his attack and not allowing white to settle down in the position, because as they say, means Fisher used to say this thing, that chess is all about timing. If you miss the timing, then you are going to lose your attack. The attack is very important to be carried out quickly. It's like a burning thread. You have to do something at that exact moment. So here he played queen e7, and after queen e7 he understood that the pawn on e4 is a little bit weak, so he played e5, sacrificing the pawn, and now he safely long castled in this position. Now the attack is gone. Okay, white is not at all in pressure. He is you can say surviving here, and knight into f3, if you capture, that's a possibility. You can just capture and the pieces will be coming off the board. You played bishop to d6, okay, then bishop to c3. Now it is white's turn to attack on black's king, and knight into f3, queen captures f3, bishop e6, and now he played h3, dislodging this knight from this position. Well, there was also a possibility that you can just capture here on e6 and then play h3, because after all these things, queen can capture on b7. And I would like to ask you a very interesting idea in this position. If, let's suppose, black plays f6, what will you play? Well, I hope that you have thought about the position. The best move in this position is actually to capture on f6, because rook cannot capture. The rook on a8 will be hanging, and if you capture with the queen, then queen d5 check, there will be double attack and the bishop on d6 will be lost in that position. So of course knight into e6 was a very interesting option in the position. He played h3. The knight can go back, but as I showed you just now, it will be captured here and then queen b7, and there will be so much of attack in that position. So he did not go for that thing. He played bishop e5, and well, after the exchanges, he lost the piece. Knight captures e6, queen captures e6, and then h into g4. Black is just pieced down. Okay, he thought like he will get some counterplay against the white's open king, but that did not happen. Gukesh was very precise in this game. After these captures, you can say he survived the attack. Queen to a2, bishop to d3, rook e8, because the main thing is that black is not having that many pieces to attack on white's king, and he brought one piece after another in the game. Rook g4, queen to a3 check, king d2, queen b2 check, and now queen c2, offering the queen exchange. He did not go for this. Queen to b6, the pawn on f2 is under attack, but he said like, okay, if you want to capture the pawn, you can capture, I need to safeguard my king. So he played queen a2 check, king h8, and now he played rook to d4. Well, after rook d4, queen h6 check, king c2. Rest is as you can say the matter of technique. I'll just go through the moves. Queen f7 attacking the queen, back rank checkmate problems are there. The pawn on f2 was lost. King to b3, rook to g8, and now here in this position he played bishop c4, further attacking the queen, rook on g8. It's a checkmate threaten, rook to b8, and now he plays queen e7. The idea is to play rook d8, and again it's a checkmate. Well, he played h5 trying to get some room for the king, but Gukesh was spot on. He played queen g5, the pawn on h5 is under attack, queen f3, he supported the pawn, and now he just captured the pawn after rook h4, queen d1 check, king to b2. The queen is there, the king is kind of exposed, but there are no checks in this position, and the rook into h5 move is going to come on the board. Black's king is going to be checkmated. So in this position, Praggnanandhaa decided to throw in the towel, and Gukesh won a very, very beautiful game. And that's all for today, guys. We will be meeting very soon with the next video. Till that moment, for Gukesh victory, write down in the comment Gukesh OP, and like this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new here. Bye bye, take care, love you all.